And Larmer takes it away, sending it to the near side, and Tonelli. John Tonelli. Trying to clear it, failed to do it. Didick held it in, shoots, and a save by Belfour. He pushed it to Tonelli, shaken up. Tonelli slow to get up, has lost his stick, seemed to be dazed. Here's the draw, and here comes Buray, number 10, the exciting Soviet. Buray flipped it over the line, now gets it back. He's wrapped up along the board. They scrum on the far side. Buray came up with it. Got knocked down the center. Here's a shot. Big save by Belfour. The first game he played here, he turned down this crowd with 3 breakaways he had. And they were not cherry-picking breakaways. He just stick-handled through players to have breakaway chances, but he never did score on any of the 3 breakaways. Here's Goulet over the line, lets it go, and it's deflected over the glass.
To get back into this game by taking the body. There's been good hitting at both ends of the ice. The Blackhawks and the Vancouver Canucks, you would expect, would be more fired up to play. The first real good scoring chance of the night for Vancouver. Adams on the backhand hit Belfour in the helmet. Buray returns the favor on Busquets after Busquets hammered him.
He's one of those guys that really has a tough time leaving the game at the rink. He'll be the first to admit that he takes the game home with him, and if the Canucks lose, he is miserable to be around. Now we have Graham in a scrap. Graham and Courtnall. And Jeff Courtnall not used to this kind of activity. He and Graham, now Linden and Sutter, and we got a problem on the far side. Everybody grabbing one another. Graham seemed to go at Courtnall, who's a stranger to this type of fisticuff. And on the far side now is Graham and Courtnall are pulled apart, and everybody else is paired up. Well, the Canucks have a win and 3 losses. The Hawks, of course, have lost their last 3, and both teams having team meetings yesterday to try to right the ship. And a lot of wrestling going on. Randy Gregg and Greg Gilbert clearing it down into the Hog zone. Belfour scooped it to the far side. Lidster kept it in. Now Larionov back to the line. Adams. We have Lidster shaken up after that collision along the boards. Now Buray flipped it to center. Babbage there. Gave it to Pavel Buray. Big handling over the Hawk line. Likes to go wide. He's able to cut him off. And now the offside whistle blew. And Buray got a bump from Larmer as the whistle sounded, as well as Marchman. And that draws the ire of the home team.
Larmer angled him towards the near boards. The whistle was blown as an offside, and then Marchman peeled off and didn't go near him. He had a chance to really keep going and hit him hard. Meanwhile, Lidster along the far boards in the offensive zone gets hit. Clean hit by Roenick, but he goes down awkwardly, and he fell on top of his leg. It fell under him.
Who flips it out to center ice. Now Merzen has trouble with Larmer, but able to clear it away to Antoski.
And Lume just high stick Goulet right in the forehead. Schick was way out behind the play and didn't see the call.
Now there's going to be a penalty on the Hawk bench, I think. As the Hawks control the whistle sounds, and Rob Schick was right in front of the Hawk bench. They had to be screaming about what you just mentioned. And Schick just wheeled on the Hawk bench, pointed at somebody, put his arm in the air. And Brent Sutter in the neutral zone. Flipped it to Graham over the line. Graham on his offside, trying to trickle it in front. McLean picks it off and covers it up. And now Paluso got shoved by Didick. They dropped their gloves. Paluso and Didick wrestle into the corner. They start throwing haymakers. And now wrestling up against the glass. Gerald Didick and Mike Paluso. Mostly wrestling for the last few moments, as neither man's able to get a hand free. And that's all there's going to be. Rebound, Babbage centered it, deflecting back to the near side, and it's captured by Brown. It was bumped along the boards. Now Conroy, now a penalty off the play right in front of Schick. It appeared Courtnall and Noonan in a confrontation. Gave it back to the Vancouver captain, Trevor Linden, over the line. Around Buray, and then Conroy cut across to knock it off his stick. Greg Adams!
The Blackhawks are furious. Steve Conroy was hooked down from behind and gave up possession and resulted in a scoring chance and a goal. Boy, Schick has really given the Blackhawks a shaft tonight.
At 2:56, the Blackhawks had a goal disallowed in the first period. When it was shot into the net, Jeremy Roenick had his foot in the goal crease, did not have any influence on the play. That was disallowed, as the rule states. I understand you were a pregame guest tonight on the local radio for the Vancouver radio station that covers the games, the Blue Line Club or whatever they have here. That
Center Ice Club.
Center Ice Club, and warmly received.
This is amazing. First time ever in this building. Although there were 3 other times I got standing ovations in this building, and all 3 times they carried me off in a stretcher.
Harold Diddick to the near corner. Now Diddick trying to center it, and a penalty is going to be called. Ronning just got flattened behind the net. The Hawks are going to be 2 men short, and this will be that hitting from behind or boarding call, it would appear. And Cliff Ronning, who was a little nauseous today with some flu problems, didn't skate in the early skate today, really got hammered behind the goal. Well, we got elbowed. Jeff Portnoy back to Lumen. Lumen advantage for Vancouver. Lumen's long shot deflecting into the near corner. Larionov has it there. Centerman, score! Greg Adams scores his second goal of the game. Cliff Ronning over the Hawk line. Dropped it to Sandlag. Picks his way into the near corner. Tied up, Marchment chased it behind the net. He and Ronning battle there. Now Sandlag came up and he centered. The draw to Steve Conroy. Hammers it off the boards, not out. Lume did well to keep it, and then he got run over by Roenick, but Linden kept it in there. Linden to the far circle. Portnoy, a shot. And now Brent Sutter put it to the line. Chelios a long shot, deflecting wide. And we have a penalty coming up again as they scuffle on the near side. Well, they give him a 10-minute misconduct to Antosky. Why would that then be a minor penalty?
Well, they lose the services of Antosky for 10 minutes.
Whoop-de-doo. Play Larmer's attempted to shoot through people and been unsuccessful. Now Brown, near circle to Goulet, kicked him the stick, centered it, tip. They score! Jeremy Roenick. He gets back up, trying to clear. Chelios kept it in, across to Marchment. His long shot, stop, rebound. Oh, shot wide. Great chance for Noonan. He missed the net. And now Noonan at the near point has it. Noonan cuts in. Gave it to Chelios. Back to Noonan. He scores! And here come the Canucks 2-on-1. Portnoy centered it. Adams right in for the hat trick. And a save by Belfour. Rebound Linden. Tried to center it. Adams another chance. He shot it wide. Now Larionov has it. Centering. Chelios, and they score. Rebounding behind the net to Roenick. In the second period in this game. Here's Roenick. Flipped him in. Stuck his leg out right in front of Schick. Good Lord. Rob Schick, just please get an idea here. Running to the Hawk line. Left it for Portnoy. Marchment took the legs from under him with a gliding hip check. Now the Hawks the other way. Here's a chance for Graham. Centered it. Sutter shoots. And a save. Rebound. Sutter trying to jam it in. McLean said no. And we're going to have a scrap as Graham gets up. He wants it. Diddick, who flattened him after the fact. Now Goulet just got hammered from behind by Sandlak. And now the Hawks have a man going after Sandlak. And I don't think Schick ever saw that. Goulet was on all fours on the ice, and Sandlak cross-checked him in the back of the head, right in front of the net. Well, I think it was Brown that came in and grabbed Sandlak afterward.
He's lost control of this game, and people are frustrated and they're taking liberties. They don't know when it's going to be a penalty or when it's not going to be a penalty. And you can just point the finger at one man for this mess.
Now Marchment and Merzen are wrestling, but here's that other sequence. Brent Sutter trying to stuff it in. McLean did well to hold him off. Then Sutter got driven into the net. Then Graham pushed Merzen from behind, and then Graham got flattened. And in front of the goal, Goulet was on all fours, and Jim Sandlak just cold-cocked him in the back of the head. Now we have Merzen and Marchment flailing away. Merzen and Marchment slugging at one another, and they both landed a couple, and now they're standing toe-to-toe, and Marchment with a big left hand knocked Merzen to the seat of his pants. And sticks and gloves are all over the ice, and this is a mess because Rob Schick has screwed up what could have been a very good hockey game. Still, Rob Schick consults with his linesman Lazarevich and Hire because he's really not sure what the heck's been going on, and he's going to hand out a couple of more penalties, but it's going to take him a while to do it because he's a bit confused, as he's been virtually the entire game.
You know, we got a problem behind the Blackhawk bench, and the Blackhawks are pointing out somebody instead of going after him. They're pointing out somebody that I don't know what went on, either if they threw something or whatever, but
Keenan and Sutter pointing directly to the people involved, and the security is in the neighborhood. Looks to come out of his own zone. Flipped it to center. Tried to take a run at Adams, got mostly boards.
And then he got cross-checked from behind by Adams.
Here's Buray. He races over the Hawk line, fires, and a save by Belfour. Rebound in front of the net, and a man's taken down, and the fans scream for a penalty against Adams. And now here's Hudson knocked down, then he slashed Diddick back. Hawks are going to get a penalty. That is a penalty. Here's a 2-on-1, 3-on-1 for Vancouver. Cron a shot. Belfour stopped it. Chelios the rebound. Talking about Buray and the excitement he's created here in Vancouver. The first time he even practiced with this team, they're at a local rink, and a couple of thousand people showed up to watch him practice. The first game Buray played was at home against the Winnipeg Jets. Now he got a high sticking call. Buray did as he high stick Graham, who continues on. Graham behind the net, had it taken away. Memesso captures, and the whistle sounds, and Pavel Buray clearly got his stick up on Dirk Graham, and he was caught by Rob Schick. But just to finish that thought, Buray, first game he played, it was against Winnipeg here at home. There were 6,000 seats unsold before Buray was signed, and the building was sold out the first game he played. So a lot of people think he himself sold 6,000 tickets.
Get the stick up, not once but twice. Once on Conroy, the next time on Dirk Graham. It took 2 infractions for finally one to be called against him.
And the Hawks unable to get it in. It's cleared to the Hawk line. Out of the net comes Belfour, and then he knocked it away from Volk, but Larionov got to it. He cuts in. Belfour's over on the far board. Now it's centered. Here's Lume trying to move in, and only now does Belfour get back into the net.
That's great.
Great forecheck, great checking by Ed Belfour. Here's a lead. Sutter has a chance. He cuts in shooting. The save rebound. McLean! Here's a lead to Buray. One man to beat is Busquets. Buray over the line, weaving, waiting for help. Now centered it all alone is Gregg. And a save by Belfour to keep the Hawks in the hunt. And some pushing and shoving around the Chicago net. And the officials are there very quickly.
What a play by Buray. He looked like he was going to shoot the puck. Somehow he saw Randy Gregg. And
now the Canucks start back. John Antosky at center ice. Tied up on the board. Then he gave Sutter a rough ride on the far side. Now Chelios goes in. Antosky, and we got another problem. They all wrestle on the far side. When Antosky gave Sutter a big hit, Chelios came across the ice and seemed to have one thing in mind. That was getting in Antosky's face, which he did, and now the linesman trying to pry them apart. Now they continue to wrestle along the boards. Antosky may have been headbutted by Steve Smith as they wrestle along the far side. Sean Antoski, we mentioned, had 330 minutes last year in the International League. Blackhawks are about to fall below the 500 mark and about to be 0-4 on this road trip. Here's Linden breaking for the net. Cuts in there, shoots, and scores! Trevor Linden turned on the Jets on right wing as he cut in. He stopped the backhander past Belfour. The fourth power play goal of the game for Vancouver, and it's 5-2. Hawks are on the trip, winless in 7 straight on the road, and they're now 1 game below 500.